In this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about Final Destination with Black Pudding, Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles, Playing with Tropes, and Power Washing Zombies in our discussion of Big Bad Me with Aislinn O'Loughlin. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to talk to Aislinn O'Loughlin, author of Big Bad Me. Mm-hmm. Enjoy!
So good! Claire.
Yes.
It's time.
It's time?
It's time. It's time.
It's time. Pew, 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 pew. Would you rather? Pew!
And we're so very excited about Would You Rather today because we're joined by the author, and we have been squeeing about this for so long. So welcome, Aislinn. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I'm like such a huge fan. Such a massive Fictional Hangover fan. So we're like really excited to be here.
We're supposed to be fangirling you.
It's just going to be a big fangirl circle, and we're never going to get anywhere, but it's fine.
Which wouldn't be unusual.
That makes me so happy. So thank you 1,000 times for joining us and for writing this friggin' book. Oh my god.
Yes.
It's the best.
Thank you.
Spoilers. We've declared
it.
it as one of our books of the year.
You have?
Yes.
And now you're going to make me cry while we're recording. Thank you.
Seriously, like, I'm in love with this book.
You are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just same as Amanda. We just honestly, from the first chapter, we were texting each other, going, "This is amazing."
Yeah. But we shouldn't fangirl about that yet because lots of things are going to happen. But we have to get through Would You Rather first.
Yes.
And then
Professional face.
We can explode in, vampire dust or
yeah.
I'd rather not. I like my parts together.
Yeah.
I'm
too.
kind of.
Mine tend not to work very well anyway, so I'm fine if my parts explode all over the place.
Me too. My parts don't work either. Oh my god.
Braggy. Anywho, question 1 of Would You Rather, the one we asked on social media.
Yes.
And next to the question we asked when we did Midnight Sun, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? This is potentially one of our most contentious questions.
Oh, okay.
Ever. Would you rather have pineapple on your pizza or not? Well,
not, but I don't mind pineapple on my pizza. I know. Some people feel so strongly about it. Some of my characters feel very strongly about it. I actually don't mind it too much. But I prefer olives, which I think is another contentious one.
Oh no.
I know.
I had a pineapple and ham pizza for my lunch today in honour of recording.
Oh yeah.
And last Saturday I shared an olive and anchovy with goat cheese pizza with my 7-year-old son.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
No.
It was delightful.
Stop it. Oh.
It was delightful.
No.
It got to the stage where I wasn't allowed any.
Oh, really? Oh, I love your son. He's got such adventurous tastes for a 7-year-old.
Oh, yes. He's 8 now. He
had
a birthday on Tuesday. So yes, he was 7 at the time. He's 8 now. But yes, he picked it and he enjoyed it and he stole most of it and I had to go and steal half my husband.
Gross.
So was that his birthday lunch?
Yes, it was.
I love them.
So if you ever go to York, there's a lovely pizza place. Throwing that one out there. On social media, do you want to know how it went? Pineapple, yay or nay? So there was yes, yum, or no, you're weirdo. On Facebook, 62% are eating the pineapple. Instagram, 75% are having pineapple on their pizza. On Twitter, 67% are having pineapple on their pizza. And on TikTok, no, you weirdo, don't put pineapple on your pizza, with 54%.
Oh
So
my
Amanda,
goodness.
I'm afraid you're going to have to go to TikTok.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some of the listener comments?
Yes,
We have
I
super fans. Superfan Annie on Facebook said, so many people think pineapple on pizza is the devil. I must be the friend of the devil. Give me all the pineapple.
That
You
is the
know
best
Annie
logic
would
I've
dance
ever
naked
heard.
in a dark. Oh yeah, Annie would dance naked in the garden with the devil, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure she would. Drew on Facebook said, no pineapple, please. No fruit with my pizza.
Colin on Facebook said, I'm not pizza racist. I'll eat whatever is put on a tasty, tasty pizza. I mean, I saw an advert for a baked bean pizza the other day and thought to myself, yeah, I'd smash that. So yeah, give me pineapple, bring it on. I draw the line at a baked bean pizza.
I
You
with my kids, you know, those songs are like, do you like broccoli? Do you like, broccoli pizza, broccoli ice cream, that kind of thing? That we went through it and we decided to make our own do you like broccoli pizza. So we just threw all the weird stuff we could think of on. We used baked beans and I can't remember what else, popcorn and things like that.
I would eat that. I'm going to make that pizza. Baked
I can
beans,
understand popcorn on a sweet
broccoli,
pizza.
I mean, popcorn. Doing it. I'm going to take a picture of me eating it, and you guys are going to be like,
Please
what?
do.
No, I don't want a picture. I want a
enough.
video. I want proof that the bite is taken, it is chewed and ingested.
All
I
right.
need full proof.
All right, it's going to happen. Don't worry.
Yes.
It's going to
Oh,
happen.
and we put pineapple on that pizza. I've just
No!
Yeah,
remembered.
you're going to have to put pineapple on as well.
No, no, you guys, no.
You have to. You've already agreed to it.
No, I will not
Them's
put
the
pineapple
laws.
on there. I'll put some other weird shit on that pizza, but I am not putting pineapple
Put
on
tuna on. You keep complaining about tuna on a pizza.
it. No.
Put tuna on the
Oh, no, it's just getting really weird.
pizza. Tasty. Anywho, I'm going to read Constance. Superfan Constance comment.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm with Annie. The devil, her, and I will be enjoying our pineapple pizza. You savages.
Mm. Oh.
Absolutely wonderful.
Let's see. Real Jackson Ford on Instagram said, nope, nobody, nope. Thank you, Jackson Ford. You know I love you already, but thank you again.
Nobody, the nobody notes really does it for me.
Nobody, nope.
Well, I'm going to get L20 Kevs on Instagram. Was yes, definitely. The more moist, the better. Same with garlic bread. It needs to be that buttery and oily, with the grease needs to be running down my arm when I'm eating it. Blah.
I think have we lost it with all the talk of pineapple pizza? Just got too much.
Yeah,
It's
I
great.
had to pause and just puke, and then came back.
I think that description of the pineapple pizza, like the word moist and then the image of the garlic bread, that's, you know what, technically it does sound like a delicious meal technically, but it, the description is like something out of a
You don't want your pizza to drip.
No.
No, you don't want drippy pizza. Slidey, cheesy pizza, yes, but not drippy pizza.
No.
I think it was the garlic bread that was drippy with garlic butter dripping down his arm.
I don't know.
That just sounds like feeding my kids when they were younger.
Sounds like me in an Italian restaurant, if I'm honest.
Nah. Gross. Okay.
Anywho.
Yuck. All right.
Do you want to move away from the disgustingness?
Yes.
Go on then.
Okay. Would you rather be lied to your entire life about having diabetes or being a supernatural creature?
So lied to, like, I am a supernatural creature and they lie to me and pretend I'm not, like in the book.
Yeah.
I prefer that because that's a happy surprise. And I still got to, eat sugary treats my whole life. So yeah, I prefer that. If I discovered now that I was a werewolf, I would be terribly surprised because my body is not healing itself like a werewolf should. But I think I'd prefer to be lied to about being a supernatural creature than about having diabetes, because I'd just be, the dietary restrictions of a diabetic is not so that's not fair.
I'm with you. I'd rather find out I'm a supernatural creature. And if I find out that I am a werewolf and I am not healing as I should, I need a vet now.
Okay.
My knees.
So, as much as I want to be a supernatural creature, because obviously, I You know, if I found out that everyone has been telling me my entire life that I have diabetes, and hey, I don't, woohoo!
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
taking it! Yeah! Yeah!
Can I add on to this though, Amanda? I'm going to find out that I'm a supernatural creature and it actually turns out to be a vampire. Then I'm going to come over to Arkansas, where you no longer have diabetes.
Correct.
And I'm going to turn you into a vampire, and then you can go on a rip-roaring rampage of revenge for everybody who's told you that you've had diabetes your entire life and you've had to suffer through all of the insulin and testing and all that kind of
All right, let's
stuff.
do it. Let's do it.
And I will support you in your rip-roaring rampage of revenge.
I'm just really proud of myself that I didn't automatically pick supernatural creature in this one, because that's typically my go-to. But man, getting rid of diabetes, hell yeah! Take it. Sucks. It's the worst. Oh, I'm lighthearted about it though.
If she doesn't laugh like a maniac, she'll kill us all.
Hey!
This is me with chronic pain as well. It's like, oh, my back has stopped working and now I can't move again. It's just like, you either laugh or you cry, or you laugh and you cry at the same time.
Right. Or you start crying because you're laughing, because then your laughing makes you like have pain. So it's all good. It's all
cycle of tears and pain.
It's a vicious cycle. Let's move on.
Speaking of vicious cycles, question 3, would you rather? Would you rather become a werewolf by injecting blood or ingesting blood?
Injecting, I suppose. Unless I can ingest my blood in a hot chocolate, in which case that's not so bad. But yeah, injecting so I don't have to taste it would probably be better.
I don't know, I've had some nice black pudding in my life.
But that is okay if I can eat in a black pudding, yeah.
Here's a theory. If you had a vampire donate their blood and turned it into black pudding, and then you ate the black pudding, could you in theory turn into a vampire, if that is the vampire trope that you're going with?
I love that idea.
I mean, wouldn't you have to be bitten and drained first?
Well, you could be on the point and they're just stuffing, like, you drained, and they're just stuffing black pudding in your mouth.
And they just shove it in your mouth and like make you chew.
Tasty death.
It could though, if that's like the logic, the lore that you're going with. Like in my world, I guess you could be turned into a werewolf that way, just like mass. Oh wow, that would be.
What if you've already eaten it? Because you've gone out for a fancy breakfast. You know, you've gone for a brunch. You've gone slap up full works. You've got the black pudding on the side because it doesn't normally come with the dinner. And you accidentally lose all your blood and get turned. If you lose all your blood in some freak accident, some freak accident, and you don't realise that the black pudding is made with vampire blood or werewolf blood, and you turn into a supernatural creature, and you're like, how the heck did this happen? I think this would be a really funny story.
It would be a really funny story.
Especially when you accidentally lose all your blood.
You accidentally
Where did I put it?
It would have to be a really funny freak accident as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very slapstick.
Like if the restaurant is run by werewolves or run by vampires and they're off making, causing these ridiculous accidents because they want to create their werewolf or vampire army, then you could get really ridiculous with it, because it could be almost like Final Destination style, where they're trying to cause your accident and just, things are falling and things are happening and they're just really useless monsters that kind of... That could be really fun.
I'm on board for this.
I need this in my life.
Yep. It needs to happen. Yeah.
I would love that.
It doesn't even have to be a full story. It could just be a really random short story.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm there for it. I love it.
5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, would recommend.
My answer for this question, after accidentally losing all of my blood, I wouldn't mind doing an injection. Again, back, to diabetes. Just all needles all the time. So just whatever. whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I would take an injection more willingly than, as we were talking about earlier. So before we started recording, unenthusiastic carnivore. So
Yes.
you shoot it in. I'll take it. I'm going to load up my insulin pump and slowly get it over time. So my change will be less drastic.
Okay.
It's an interesting way of doing it, yeah. I like that.
I feel like we need to caveat this question with, you don't have to ingest the blood as a foodstuff. You could drink it.
Yeah, that's fine too. Mixed in with your hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Or find a hot nerd.
Yes.
Suck their blood.
Yes. Fine. All of these are reasonable options.
Choose your option. Pick one. But if you go for the slapstick blood loss with black pudding, so much the better.
It is better.
That is now my go-to way I want to turn into a monster for sure.
Okay, next question. Would you rather have the weird feeling a vampire gets when stuck in a place they're uninvited, or have death prickle wolfy head tingles?
Death prickle wolfy head tingles. The feeling that a vampire gets when they go somewhere they shouldn't is like their brain is on fire and they can't think and they can't do anything. So the wolfy head tingles, death prickles are awful. They're just not as bad as that. So bad headache versus feeling like your brain is about to explode. I'd take that. Preferably neither, but that's not the spirit of Would You Rather.
No, neither is not an option. Not today.
No, option C, never.
Claire, what are you going to do?
Oh, I'm going to go Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles, just because I like Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles, and I would buy their album.
Yes, just saying Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles is the best.
It's the name of my first album.
Accidental Blood Loss. That's your band's name. And your first album is Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles.
Wolfie Head Tingles. 2 t-shirts are coming to Redbubble.
I need to make a note. It's happening.
Yes, my justification is I've had horrible migraines like that are in your eyeballs as well. So I'm guessing that's what the Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles is like, as opposed to the uninvited vampire trope.
Yeah, because I can't imagine anything worse than the uninvited vampire. That was the point. Is like it renders you even the most capable person completely incapable of doing anything. So
that scene when we were talking about the book and our discussion, that scene when Felix throws the poppy seeds on the ground and the vampire's uninvited in the threshold and counting the poppy seeds is one of our favourites because it's just so horrible but so funny.
And then he gets his head pulled off.
And he appreciates it because the headache is worse.
Thank you.
Oh, it's amazing.
What are you doing, Amanda?
Well, obviously Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles. And I just feel like it's our phrase for this episode, and I feel like it's like we have to try to say it, say it 5 times fast. And then we just go.
If we say it too often, we might accidentally conjure it.
Oh, that's true. We might. Oh, we're all going to have migraines after this episode is over.
Oh, as long as it's not a Bloody Mary Candyman situation again.
No.
Again?
I'm fine with summoning Candyman.
It's pretty much a regular occurrence with us. Give us a mirror and a candle and we'll say names 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, I love Candyman, so it's fine. I'm going to summon him. This is my favorite.
I love that movie very much. Have you seen the remake or the sequel?
Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
Did you love it?
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
Me too.
Yeah, the actors are just some of my favorite as well. So it's just, I liked it better than not better than the original, but as a remake goes, it was really not remake but sequel. It was really creative and didn't disappoint in what it did.
Yeah, no.
The shadow puppetry was amazing.
Yeah, I was very, very pleased, especially with the tie-ins to the original too, and that Tony Todd was in it at the end. Like,
yeah,
so good, So good. Oh, but oh my God, for the love of all that is holy, don't get me started talking about Candyman, because that's where this episode's going to go. Candyman.
No, but last time you talked about Candyman to an author who just released a debut, we got Candyman in the sequel.
It's true, we did. It is my fault that Candyman is in Amy McCaw's Mina and the Slayers.
Which I've been dying to read it, and I have it on my shelves because I love Mina and the Undead so much, and I've been dying to read it, and I haven't had a chance yet. I feel like everything since my publication month has just been chaotic, and my kids have been sick and stuff, and I'm looking at my TBR, and Mina and the Slayers is right up the top.
It's so good. And you know,
we influenced, was it four things?
Four
in
things.
The book?
Four things influenced by Fictional Hangover.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
read it and then go and listen to the episode and the bonus with Amy, and you'll find all four things.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I will do that.
Not that we're bragging, but we're totally bragging.
We're totally bragging because that's one of the coolest things that has ever happened to Fictional Hangover.
Definitely.
That's amazing. Yeah.
We're not hinting or anything at, your next book that comes out.
I feel like any of the craziness that comes up could easily be like Kevin writing a short story about weirdness, and he could definitely have a short story about a werewolf opening a sausage factory to infect people.
He will pass his creative writing course if he does a supernatural creature opening up a brunch spot that serves black pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Brunch spots are so big in Toronto. It's everywhere. You can't look around without seeing a brunch spot. So they're in the right place to be writing about it.
It's perfect.
And who doesn't love brunch? Wrong people.
If you don't love brunch, you're wrong.
Exactly. Speaking of brunch, question 5. Would you rather have a bloody hot chocolate or a raw steak?
Ooh, bloody hot chocolate, for sure.
1,000 times.
I'm on and off
blood.
vegetarian, sometimes vegan, and when I do eat meat, it's usually because I've gotten myself run down or something like that. But when I do eat meat, it's only like fish and chicken. I can't touch red meat. So an awful lot of Evie being super excited about red meat and all the it smelled like this and it was like that, all the stuff that kind of grosses me out, I just tried to turn it into a positive. So I'd have to have the bloody hot chocolate, because at least then you also have chocolate and marshmallows and sprinkles, and Kevin's cooking for you.
Yeah, definitely. Same.
What about you?
I'm definitely the same, because obviously unenthusiastic carnivore, which you are too. So
yeah, absolutely. Snap.
I'm an enthusiastic omnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Omnivore. But I'm not eating a raw steak. I like mine medium rare.
Yeah.
So it's still cooked. So give me the bloody hot chocolate. I'll have that with sprinkles and whipped cream and marshmallows.
I like how angry it made you sound just then, saying bloody. Bloody hot chocolate.
Bloody hot chocolate. Usually, because when I'm saying the word bloody, I'm going, oh, bloody hell. At myself.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Okay.
There's your excessively British moment for our ear man.
Hooray, thank you.
Bloody hell.
Just what I needed. Okay. That's the end of Would You Rather. However, we're going to be moving on to non-Would You Rather questions. But the very first one is a Would You Rather question.
Oh, no, it's the ultimate Would You Rather question for anybody who does anything supernatural. We've answered this a million times.
Yeah.
If you don't know our answer by now, then where the hell have you been in the past?
Exactly so.
X amount of years. Go on, Amanda. Pause it. Best dramatic voice.
I don't have a dramatic voice right now. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
Vampire, I think. Yeah.
Yes! All vampires all the time!
All vampires all the time!
I have answered this before and said werewolf, but it always comes back to the fact that I am a reluctant carnivore. And if I was a werewolf, I'd be at least eating a lot of raw steak. I don't think I can do it. So then I'd be a very dangerous werewolf because I'd be very hungry all the time. So at least as a vampire, I can get my blood from other sources.
Yeah.
I guess. Yes.
Yeah.
Is Kevin technically a vegan vampire or a vegetarian vampire if he just has like pig's blood?
No, I mean I haven't gone with the Twilight thing of that. Kevin is not because Kevin will also sit down and eat like steak or bacon or sausages or whatever. There is a vegetarian vampire by the end. We're pretty spoilery here.
Yes, all spoilers are fine. Yeah,
all spoilers. So yeah. By the end, my logic is that Kate's, she's completely vegan, but drinks blood. That's how she manages it. So she gets to kind of do that, and then sort of sees the blood as like her meds, where she just has to take it to stop herself from doing anything worse. So that's why at the end Kevin makes a blueberry pie with a vegan crust, because Kate's just completely off everything except blood in her drink. So she's a vegetarian vampire. She's a vegan vampire as much as she can be, but Kevin's not.
That's logical. That makes a lot of sense.
I just like that it's the Twilight rule. God, I love it so much. Okay. All right. We're glad that you're team vampire, clearly. Because all vampires all the time.
Yeah, vampires all the time. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think I prefer vampires to werewolves in general.
Yes. Yes. You are our people now.
I do like werewolves. I just prefer vampires. They're more fun. They're much more in control. And usually when they're doing something bad, they know they're doing something bad. And werewolves tend to be, except for Enid from Wednesday, who is my favourite werewolf aside from...
I haven't watched Wednesday yet.
You haven't watched Wednesday? Okay,
no, not yet.
Enid introduces herself as a werewolf in like the first scene, so it's not a spoiler.
Okay.
But yeah, she's cute and colourful and bouncy and very excitable.
Wonderful.
Like a puppy.
She is like a puppy. She is.
Oh, it's precious.
Like a very colourful puppy.
But to be fair, I'd be worried if there wasn't something different about her, to be fair,
Yeah.
I can't imagine Wednesday being like friends with a normal, everyday, bog standard teen.
No, and the school that she goes to, Nevermore Academy, is for freaks anyway, so it's for weirdos, so everyone's got something about them. So she's ultra bright and cheerful, but she's also a werewolf. But it's
amazing.
Basically, all she can manage is claws. So she's got these really really cute painted nails, and then when she gets angry, they just go like extra long. It's really cute. She's adorable.
It's next on my watch list.
Same for us. We're watching 1899 again, and then we're moving on to Wednesday.
I haven't seen 1899. Is that good?
It is.
I mean, you're watching it again, so I guess.
Yeah, well, we're watching it again because like it's on Netflix, and when you start watching it, Netflix already has the setting changed to where it dubs everything in English. Oh. But we didn't realize until after making it through that like the characters, I mean, we knew that they were all speaking different languages, but it's important. Like, it makes the story make more sense if the characters are speaking their own languages. Yeah. So, if you watch it, turn off the dub.
All right.
That is my advice to everyone. Turn off the English dub and just have subtitles if you need them.
Okay. I find dub very distracting. I'd rather read subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm used to having subtitles on. I mean, Aislinn, you probably know with having kids, they put subtitles on.
Yes, all the time.
Which is not a bad thing because teachers don't read.
Right.
It actually does. Yeah, that's always been my my excuse if I'm putting the TV on for them to put the subtitles on. Yeah, they're learning to read. Yeah. But it's also helpful, isn't it? Because they talk over everything. So
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm pro subtitles.
And also, I think when you're watching subtitles versus dubbed, when something is dubbed, then they need to get the sentence out in the same sort of patter, to the same sort of rhythm. So you can wind up, I think it happened with Squid Game, you wind up losing a lot of the nuance of what's said because they have to get it out in basically the same amount of time, as the character's mouth is moving. Whereas if they do subtitles, it can be longer and you can get a better interpretation of what was said. So that's another reason to prefer subtitles. If you can. Some people obviously have trouble reading off the screen or whatever, and then dubbed is fine, obviously.
Right. There are a couple of lines that we've noticed, having watched it already once, that the dub is like incorrect to what they're actually saying. So it's still basically the same thing, but like a couple of key words are just different enough, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so that makes more sense.
Yeah. It's a good show. Very mind-bendy, very weird. Good show.
Okay, check that out. Mind-bendy and weird is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. Okay, so I need 1000% to talk about the fake diabetes in the book, because hey, I have diabetes and it was so cool, even though it was fake, even though it was lycanthropy, to see it in a book, because it's not. There's a handful of books that even mention diabetes. So thanks first.
Thank you.
And
you're welcome.
Now explain why'd you pick diabetes? Why'd you pick fake diabetes to cover up lycanthropy?
It seemed like a good one. My dad has diabetes as well, although he got it later in life, so it's different. It's type 2, but I was, I see him injecting himself a lot, and he has to test his blood. And I know from reading up that a lot of people turn to like a ketogenic type diet to try and control some symptoms, or to control their insulin a bit. So all that really seemed to fit with what you would need if you were going to be sneaking someone meds every day, and making sure that she doesn't skip a day or skip a shot or so. And also, they need to be testing her blood, so this is a good excuse to be getting blood samples off her. And also, I mean, Evie would never. She doesn't really question what her mom and what Kate tell her. She's not very scientifically minded, so she wouldn't necessarily look up and see any of the inconsistencies. Like, I imagine she probably would eat way too many carbs for somebody who's supposed to have diabetes. I think she sort of steers away from sugary treats, like more the stereotype of diabetes, I think, rather than but like, I know she would eat like a lot more popcorn and starchy carbs than you're probably supposed to. But it seemed like something that covered enough bases for her that it was useful to have. And like I said as well, I have never seen it represented, aside from like the Babysitter's Club.
Right, yes.
Stacey, right, in the Babysitter's Club. But aside from that, I've never really seen it either. And I know I didn't want anyone to feel like I was using it in a light-hearted way or anything like that. And certainly one thing I was really aware of was like, oh, that's not insulin. And then she stops taking it. And like, I was terrified of the message of like, oh, you know what? If you actually go off your meds, you'll probably get superpowers. It was something that slightly terrified me. So I did try and make it dissimilar enough to actual diabetes, even in the way that they were handling it. She just sort of accepts what they say about it. I just, obviously do not want to be telling people to actually go off any sort of meds. And that's why it was important to me that at the end, I do have someone starting meds that makes their life better. And he's got a much better life now. He's taking meds and he's got his condition under control. So, but that's why it covered a lot of bases, and it was something that was on my radar because of my dad.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, very good job. Very good job with the fake diabetes. Loved it.
Thank you.
Especially, there were a couple of lines of like your body trying to attack you, and like having these massive headaches and stuff, and I was like, this is my life. It's amazing. So, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. We talked about this in the main episode already, but I have a friend who has diabetes, and he's my diabetes buddy. And he's also a librarian, so we're like, we share books with each other a lot, and we rarely come across books with diabetes. So I was like, hey, oh my God, I found this book, and it has diabetes, but it's not diabetes. She's actually a wolf, but it's diabetes. And I was sending him screenshots of the book, like, look at this line, like, it's perfect. And he was like, oh my God, we have to read it. So then I have to say this story again, everyone, sorry, but we decided we were going to start a diabetic book club, and because we call each other diabetes buddies, we decided it was going to be diarrhea buddies, which then sounds like diarrhea buddies, and it's terrible, and we're going to make shirts. So,
Amazing.
So yeah, your book is going to probably be book 1 in the diarrhea buddies book club.
That's amazing. And what other books are there then? Do you have any other books?
I read one, and he's got one. I don't remember the title of the one that he has recently read, but Agnes at the End of the World has a character with diabetes in it, and it's real diabetes. It's not lycanthropy this time. It's real diabetes. But that was a good one. And friend of the podcast, Elise Green, produced that audiobook. So, I mean, I would have liked it anyway.
Yeah.
But, there's diabetes there. So we've got
I've just remembered.
What?
I've just remembered there's a Kelly DeVos book with a diabetic character in.
Oh.
And I'm busy looking it up. Because we were discussing it in the main episode. And I said, I'm sure there's a book that has a diabetic character, and I remember actually now we didn't cover it. I read it afterwards, and it's the futuristic one. I'm sure it's the future. There's the duology.
Day 0 or
day
one?
0 and day 1. I think there's a diabetic character in that. I think.
Well, there's another book for the Diarrhea Buddies book club.
I can't remember precisely, but I've got a feeling there might be in there. I don't know why it's just suddenly come to my brain, but it might be the hot chocolate's gone to my head.
Maybe it has.
I'm glad I did a good job even with fake diabetes. I have things like I have a lot of chronic pain and asthma and thyroid issues. So I think when it came to things like your body trying to kill you, it's definitely something I can also relate to. Like in a zombie apocalypse, I'm done.
Me too. That's what I always
run
say.
out of an inhaler. It's like
that's what I always say. Zombie apocalypse, I'm just dead. Use me as bait because I'm just gonna die.
Didn't you say that we could use you as a human meat shield?
I did
during our zombie apocalypse plan.
Yes, I did. What episode was that?
Cynthia Murphy.
Cynthia Murphy. Yep, that's right. Yep, human meat shield. That's me.
Because we spent far too long plotting out our zombie apocalypse plan.
We did. Yep. But it's true, and that's what I always say. Like, if the apocalypse comes, I got nothing.
No, I'm gonna be like inspirational and say something wise to the kids, and then just be like, okay,
just go off and expire in the corner.
I'm not even going to be able to run. Like, everyone else better run like hell because I'm not getting anywhere. Nope. Asthma, chronic back pain, no.
Nope, just dead.
I can't even briskly walk anymore. My last birthday, everything just literally 1 minute past midnight, my entire body just went.
Oh no.
Okay, so we'll all just die together in the apocalypse, I guess.
I'm taking the buggers out though. Give me a nail hammered through a plank of wood, and I will go rip-roaring rampage of revenge. I'm not going to laugh and cry. I'm going to be like, well, I'll laugh as I kill the buggers.
Right.
But I'm not just going to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
See, I'll need a nail gun or something, because I guarantee you the first time I swing like the baseball bat covered in barbed wire back or something like that to try and get them. I'm just my arm's stuck like that. Then I put my back out.
Just don't use a chainsaw. Chainsaws is the horrible. Chainsaws will kill you.
Yeah. So you'll need a projectile weapon for sure. We'll find you something. Yeah. We'll find you a nail gun.
Nail gun would be good. Yeah. It probably doesn't fire nails as far as I think that it's
probably
going to.
Not. I kind of want to test it out though. It's like a staple gun.
No, I'm thinking like a lawn strimmer. You know, when you do the edges. You just...
Oh yeah.
Oh, a power washer. And then at least then, you know, it might be non-lethal, but at least, you know, if you're hooked up to the tap.
Well, and you know, it depends how old the zombies are, because they're just corpses. So I assume they continue to disintegrate.
Yeah.
So it's possible that a power washer is all you need.
Yeah, if you wash a corpse, surely it'll die.
Well, it's dual, because you're gonna get rid of the corpse, but also clean the place, so you don't get all the monkey infection and disgustingness.
Yeah. There's no smell. You're just washing it all.
Washing it away.
It's perfect.
Useful. You gotta think these things through.
What a good zombie apocalypse plan we've just come up with.
Absolutely. Power washers. I don't know why we haven't seen this before.
Power washing zombies.
Yes.
Because Kevin hasn't wrote it as part of his...
He hasn't written it down yet.
Creative writing course.
Power washing zombies. Is that another single for your band?
It's the name of my third album.
Oh.
But it hasn't done as well as Death Prickle Wolfie Head Tingles. You know, the debut really sold well. Triple Platinum.
Oh, I can't wait to just go through this episode while I'm editing it and just collect song titles for the band T-shirt that's coming.
I feel like we need to have, I can never say, is it diaries?
Diary readers, was it?
I think we need to have diary readers on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Diarrhea buddies. Oh, I didn't say it. I didn't say it in this episode, but I said it in the main episode. The T-shirts are going to be brown tie-dye.
Oh. That's amazing.
Brown tie-dye is the name of my third single.
Oh, I can't even type my notes. Okay.
I'm taking notes, don't worry.
It's terrible. But I can't wait to make this shirt. It's going to be really good. We'll send you one. Don't worry.
I was going to say I want one.
Yeah,
I really
we'll
want
send
one.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And we can wear those zombie front lines together.
Yeah.
That's going to be the picture of one of the albums. So somebody with the power washer
and
another nail gun. Uh-huh. and a lawn strimmer.
A weed whacker.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels style.
It's terrible.
You can see it. You can see it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it so much. I think should we try to actually ask another question that we both asked?
No, because at the back it's going to have the tour places, and it's going to have Arkansas, and then Northeast England, and then Ireland.
Yeah.
That's our world tour.
It's perfect.
Covers all the bases. I like it.
Right. Okay. Well, do you want a really terrible segue?
Oh, yes. Terrible
always.
segue.
Always.
So we've been talking about zombie tropes.
Mm-hmm.
Do they come apart? Do they not? Can you power wash them? Who knows? What about vampire tropes? Way!
That was bad. That was a bad segue.
Promise a good one. I did not promise a good one.
That was smooth. That was organic. Didn't even notice.
It was like sandpaper. It was so smooth. How and why did you pick the vampire tropes you did? Because let's face it, the counting is not done very often, and even not inviting the vampires into the dwelling is not common anymore.
Yeah. I've loved vampires like my whole life. So I love seeing how you play with the tropes and pick and choose. And I've always loved the counting one, because when I was little, I was very scared of a lot of things. And my dad, who is also a writer, I grew up watching him like query stories with publishers and that sort of thing. So he would never tell me monsters weren't real, partly because he, knew I wouldn't believe him. And also because I think he was never sure and he didn't want to lie to me. So he would be like, I could tell you they're not real. All I know is we haven't proven it yet, which is really comforting, obviously. Because I think he thought that if he told me they weren't real, it would like stifle my imagination or something.
Love your dad, by the way.
Yeah.
Me too. But he used to talk to me then about how I would defeat the monsters. And one of the things with vampires was, a tidy one that I could keep like close to my bed was seeds, but also that they have to, if they come across a knot, they have to untie it. So there was a lot of like, I'd have a little packet of seeds by my bed. But I also knew that like if I kept my shoes knotted and stuff like that, they'd have to get past them first. So those were two that the knots didn't make it in. I did have at one point, I had them with bag loads of seeds, but also they tied a bunch of knots as well, like had bag loads of little knots. And Kate kept untying her own shoelaces and tripping over them. She wasn't used to it. But it was I just had to make the book shorter and shorter. So sadly, the knots had to go. But it was something I really liked, so along with all the other things they have on the shopping list, they have to go out and get Kate slip-on shoes because she's just...
So what you're telling me is Velcro is a vampire's best friend?
Velcro is a vampire's best friend,
Oh my God. You do realise that if you write on that they had Velcro shoes, you're going to know that's you actually saying it's because of the knots.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that.
Oh, it's another good song title.
What, Velcro is a vampire's best friend?
It's like a spooky update and diamonds are a girl's best friend. I like it.
Oh, I love it.
So is there any trope that, apart from the knots,
yes,
that we don't know about, but you're going to try and get in?
Not that I can think of. The knots I would like to do, or at least try to, well, I suppose I haven't really addressed it now, so I can't, but I'll have them wearing Velcro or something like that. I don't think I'd play around with it too much more, because I think I have my mythology sort of set now. And introducing something else might be confusing, but then again, we'll see. If I don't know that there will be a book 2. I would like a book 2.
No, there's going to be a book 2 because we're going to manifest it.
We have manifesting powers. Ugh. We need books.
It has to. I will kick off so much.
I would like to write a book 2, but obviously it depends on lots of things. So we will see. The characters live on in my head anyway. They have lots of little adventures in my head. So
good.
That's wonderful. Oh, okay.
I like the fact that the vampires as well can actually turn back to human, which worries me somewhat, because if they've been a vampire for so long and their heartbeat's not been going there, do they have a circulatory system? But they must have a circulatory system because Kevin needs to eat.
They do have they do have a circulatory system, and
so the cells have got to be living. They're just regenerating.
That's what I think. Yeah, the cells are. So another thing that I had to cut because of editing is the difference between being dead and undead, where Kevin gave Kate this whole thing of like, no, you died, but then you undied. So they've just come back to life using magic. So yes, and in my head, this means that, for example, you can have vampire babies, or you can have dampers. I've seen it written down. I don't know how. Dampier. Yeah.
We do love a good dampier. We do.
Yes, but
especially if they're Russian.
Yes. But I do. Yeah, in my head, it makes perfect sense though, because everything is still regenerating, because they get injured, their body grows back together, their cells fix themselves. So that must mean that their cells are still doing that. In terms of female vampires, for me, because your body is frozen in time, that can't happen. So I don't think I'd have a pregnant vampire.
Thank you.
But
the world thanks you.
Yes. But for me, it makes sense that, you know, a vampire could get somebody pregnant, and it would probably be pretty dramatic. I don't know if I'd do it, but I know that I know that I could have a half vampire in my stories for sure.
Now
I imagine the half vampire would be a bit of a Claudia.
No, see, in my head, I went right back to Twilight.
No, don't. No.
Evil Renesmee.
She said it.
I don't know what I'm going to get to do, but I do have a half vampire in mind, and it's not a Renesmee type, and
Fantastic.
it's not related. They're not related to the main gang either. But that's all I can say without spoiling the thing I might never write.
Whilst we're manifesting things that we want in the world,
right,
I want a Chris story.
Sorry?
I want a Chris story because Chris is just this unsung hero of the piece in the background. You know, how badass does she get in 10 years to go and save her brother? And then, you know, obviously somewhat stifled perhaps living in the guest house, but I swear she's gone on like adventures that if Kevin found out, he would like have a heart attack.
Absolutely. I mean, and she's definitely fought vampires before, and she's definitely taken, like, there's the line at the start when Kevin's like, oh, I'm really worried about having them staying in the guest house, and she's like, I've dealt with worse than that. She's definitely had her own adventures, and I think of her like you know, we were all teenagers and early 20s, and we were doing all this mad stuff. And then, well, me in particular, I know I've settled down now. I have kids. They don't know, you know, any of like my crazy teenagers or anything like that.
And they will never know.
I never fought vampires and never did anything that crazy. But, you know, but that, for me, that's where Triss is. Out of necessity, she's taken on that kind of role of, okay, I'm going to be sensible, I'm going to be calm, but she's still young. She's still only 43, so, and probably in pretty good shape, because there's, you know, the possibility of being attacked by monsters at any point. So she's definitely not just running a guest house. I'm sure she's got a gym down the basement or something like that where she works out to keep her, you know, she'll want to protect Kevin as well. So I did at one point have more of an action scene for her, and the world just keeps getting smaller in this story, because I had it was a much longer book at one point.
You need to keep your Scooby Gang tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to keep the Scooby Gang tight. Yeah. And that's why I think Chris would benefit like from having her own story.
Yeah. Or just save this all for, you know, the rest of the series that's gonna happen, because we're gonna manifest it.
I feel like Triss and Jim the Blood Guy could have their own little spin-off series, like back in the 80s, 90s.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be fun. It would be retro too. But then maybe they could meet Mina and her gang in New Orleans at some point.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Oh my God. Yes,
it'd be an epic crossover.
Amy.
Or maybe we should be saying, Kevin, we know you're listening. We know.
Speak to Amy. Make this happen.
Show her this clip.
Put your pants on and go and talk to your wife about this. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Is Kev famous for not wearing pants? This is not a thing I knew about him.
Yeah.
He doesn't normally, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. We learned that the hard way. When we were interviewing Amy, and she had to run off for a couple minutes and take care of the little one, and then Kevin was like, hey, here I am, and then like he wasn't wearing pants.
We didn't see anything.
Yeah, we didn't see anything, and luckily our recording, we had paused it while Amy was away, so, you know, it's just burned into our memories forever. But nobody else had to experience that.
It's turned into a we said, he said.
Yeah, but he's telling a more adventurous. No, he's turning it into a more adventurous story, I'm sure.
I'll have to hear his side of this.
Yeah. Anyway,
I know it's Zoom. It's post-COVID. I think everyone is. Does anyone wear pants anymore?
No.
I am wearing pants, by the way.
I'm wearing elasticated pants.
Same.
I'm wearing blue jeans, but of course it's the middle of the day for me, and it's nighttime for you guys. So it's.
I've been in these all day. I'm having a house day. I'm wearing fat pants. It's happening. Plus, there's pockets. And if we've established one thing that happens to Big Bad Me, is pockets are useful.
You need pockets.
God, I
love
just
pockets.
Just pockets? What does this mean? Just pockets? We need pockets.
Well, there's another one of my songs. Just pockets.
Just pockets.
Just pockets? Question mark.
Pockets? Just pockets.
Okay.
But the thing is, though, if we could manifest something as wonderful as a crossover,
right?
Amy's books. You haven't got to Slayers yet, but you've read Amy and the Undead, and it's just
Amy and the Undead. Mina. It's Mina. Although
Mina
it is Amy.
Undead.
Come on, let's be honest here.
I get it's really bad. I always think Amy and not Mina.
When reading it, I just imagine Amy doing all of the things that
it is.
It's
It's Amy doing it, not Mina. It's Amy. I think we said that the first book.
I think so too.
If there was a Mina, Evie/Kate. No, Chris crossover actually, because we're going back in time.
Yeah.
They're full of pop culture references.
Mm-hmm.
And yours is full of pop culture references. I mean, thank you for having the Winchesters. And yes, let's call them regardless.
Yes, of course.
Yes, absolutely call them. I mean, I don't think it's ever bad to have a Winchester around.
No.
Exactly.
Actually, it is bad to be a girl with a Winchester around. That doesn't usually end well.
No, it doesn't.
But you know what? Like, what a way to go out.
Right.
Hanging out with Dean Winchester.
Oh, you're Dean. Oh, I was going to ask you Sam or Dean, and you've just revealed your answer.
I take it's the wrong answer. I like Sam.
There is no wrong answer.
There is no wrong answer. That is true, but I am Sam. I am a Sam.
Sam is smart. Sam is lovely. Sam, because I've watched up until season 8, I think. So Sam kind of went through his arc from being nice and bereaved and stuff, that he went through like the weird soulless bad boy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all fun. I don't know, I just started getting a little irritated by him. I don't know why. Sorry. Dean also annoyed me sometimes. I think I like Dean better because initially there wasn't a Kate in Big Bad Me. There was a boy called Jack, Evie's big brother. He didn't work. The dynamic was all off. But Jack was basically like Dean Winchester, but Canadian, like really flirty. And he would try to distract from Evie at all, basically try and take all the spotlight off her, so people didn't really notice, by just being over the top and flirty and loud, and that way she'd just be able to blend into the background and nobody would pay that much attention to her, so it wouldn't matter if she did something weird. So when I changed that, because it just wasn't the right dynamic, and also he wasn't a narrator like Kate is. Kate's a main character and Jack is a side character, but I still think there's a little bit of the Dean Winchester in Kate, in the older sibling trying to keep everything together, and Dean will like hold it all together and be like, I'm fine, Sammy, it's all good, and then go off and fry a single man here in the car
while eating pie.
Exactly. I suppose Kate is a lot more Sam in that she will actually eat a salad.
Does this mean the guest house is like the supernatural motels?
Oh,
Yes.
Does it have the really good 70s wallpaper like they all have for whatever reason?
And the weird divides as
the
well.
weird divide by the door, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was basically the plan. Although then when I had the cover design sent to me, and they had actually put in a motel as opposed to a guest house, and I loved it because it looked really supernatural, and it killed me to have to go back and go, this looks great, I love the motel, but it's supposed to be a guest house. So he went a little bit more like Bates Motel then with it, which I think is also great. And actually
the cover is really good.
Well, I can only recommend that they use it for book 2 or book 3. You know, any of the
Right.
future ones.
Yeah, all of the future books in this series.
If you've got it there, you might as well use it.
They need to go. And Jim the Blood guy is Jim Beaver, so he was.
Of course it is. I'm so glad that it's Jim Beaver. I'm so glad. That's who I pictured. I was like, is this really what's happening? Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, even though he doesn't actually feature it in the book, in my head he's Jim Beaver and he's their Bobby. So he gets their blood and he also does whatever needs to be done.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Chris would agree.
Yeah. That's what she said. Oh, God. Oh man. Okay. What? I think is that all the questions that we had? We've asked them all without actually asking them, I think.
Okay.
Do you know, I do have one question that has come up in the past few interviews. Much to my and Amanda's absolute horror, our guests, our lovely, lovely guests, have never seen the movie The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
What?
Have you seen the movie The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox?
Yes, of course I've seen The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How has nobody seen that? I love it so much.
It's very
so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It got to the point where we thought we made it up, and somebody had falsified an IMDb page, and we were on crazy pills.
I love that.
No,
movie.
and actually this Christmas is Halloween. I was thinking of watching it again. I didn't, but I want to watch it again. It's just so good.
Exactly.
So good. It's so funny, and then it's like way scarier than I expected it to be when I watched it the first time. And it's just it's brilliant. I love that movie. I have not seen it since I was when did it come out? Like I think I was
1996 it came out.
So I haven't seen it since I watched it on video. So it would have been like 18 or 19, because I probably watched it a couple of years after it came out. But yeah, it was so good.
It is.
Yeah,
and it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
We were very, very shocked that
How
multiple people
have
were like,
not watched it?
I don't know.
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it's because in October, you know, it's a lot of horror talk.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about horror movies and specifically 90s horror movies.
Right.
I said The Frighteners.
Yeah.
And both me and Amanda are like, how are people not seeing this?
Yeah. That was both Amy and Kelly DeVos were like, no, what? No, I've never seen
Really?
this movie. Like, you're wrong.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And Amy with her 90s pop culture like overload. How is she not?
Yeah.
And Kev, who's a massive Michael J. Fox fan.
Yeah. We were.
I
very
dispute
shocked.
that accolade now.
Yeah.
Challenging that accolade.
Yeah.
Need like a fictional hangover movie night.
We
Maybe
do.
put-
We really do. Yeah. We can
To
make
really
that
make
happen.
Fictional Hangover Theatre 3000.
Yes. As we all watch The Frighteners.
We're going to watch Alone Holmes 2, because that's what we're doing this month. Nope, Frighteners.
Nope, forget it, guys. Sorry, Vampire Book Club. Sorry, Frighteners.
Secret Frighteners.
Oh,
Secret
man.
Frighteners was the name of my fourth song.
All right. I'm writing that down. So, except for my phone, auto-corrected Frighteners to Grifters. So,
Weird.
Which is a movie I have not seen. I have not seen The Grifters. I have seen The Frighteners.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So, is there anything else that you want to tell us that you're excited about? And it doesn't have to be book-related. It can be anything. But just tell us great things as we wrap up this bonus episode.
I am working on something else that is very different to Big Bad Me and very different to Evie and Kate. And I can't talk too much about it except to say I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't know about like you guys when you Do you write? Are you massive readers? Or you write as well? I'm unsure of this. But I have writing soundtracks.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I think we're mostly just readers on account
Yeah.
of us
I'm
also.
published now.
Oh yes, your scientific article that you have taken part in.
Technically, but not really.
You were there, Claire. It counts.
I was there. My name is in the author byline of an academic paper, but
It's there.
That's impressive. My husband is a scientist, so he's got papers published as well, and that totally counts. It's a lot of hard work.
It's real.
Yeah, it's
real.
absolutely real.
Yeah.
You've been very generous, thank you.
We're proud of you, Claire.
Yes, we are. Published is published, and it's a lot of hard work to get an academic paper published.
I feel like we've if it's non-academic, I think we've got a lot of ideas. Like,
we do. We have so many ideas, but
don't have time to sit and write. Like we've genuinely thought about doing like a fictional hangover anthology where it's like all of the inspo that we get from the episodes and the authors.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's like it's a bit of a love story to the extended fictional hangover family, of which you are part of.
Yes, of course, you are part of the family now. Clearly,
but I would love to read that anthology. I imagine there's so many there's podcasts I haven't been able to listen to because I haven't read the books yet, and some of my favorite writers are on them, and I imagine you get like wonderful ideas thrown out there. I very much enjoyed the Grady Hendrix one, by the way. That was just
that one was we felt so many emotions in that episode. It was wild.
It's so that book is just my heart. Anyway, so what I was going to say is I have a story that I'm writing. I have my writing soundtrack that I can't listen to music while I write, but I have music that I listen to while I plot, or while I'm trying to get myself in the mood, or while I'm tidying the kitchen, so I know I have to go. I'm going to go right after that. And Big Bad Me was a lot of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and kind of slightly emo, slightly kind of sounds like you're going to go kick ass kind of music. And this one is, for some reason, I'm listening to soundtracks to musicals. So like Heather's the musical, Mean Girls the musical, and then Six, which is the one about the wives of Henry VIII. And they... It's so funny because I was obsessed with all these other like My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and stuff like that while I was writing Big Bad Me, and now I try and listen to it and I'm like, no, I think I want to go listen to Apex Predator from the Mean Girls soundtrack again. So that's it. That can maybe give you an idea of the vibes of what I'm writing. My main character is not very nice, and it's really fun because Evie and Kate are so nice in their different ways. I mean, Evie does really enjoy killing people, but she's very nice.
She's nice about it.
She is.
She's nice about it. So I'm really, really having fun writing somebody who's not very nice at all.
Oh, that's fun.
Sold.
Wait. I need to ask a very important question. Is your character that you're writing a lovable asshole? Because that's my favorite type of character ever.
Maybe.
Okay, I'll take it.
I think so. I think you're gonna love to hate her.
Okay, yes, perfect.
Is this linked to the Twitter poll with the names that you put on?
Yes, this is linked to that Twitter poll, although she's not one of those. But
not one of the twins.
Okay. Not one of the twins, but the Thomas twins will be in there. I think I've got to go with Kit and Marlowe, according to the Twitter poll. Kit and Marlowe. Thomas.
Oh, I went with Tennyson. Damn it.
He is Tennyson right now. So it's a close one then.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
My problem is that I like to shorten people's names. Have a like Kate and Katie, and I didn't actually manage to do it with Evie. Or Kevin and Kev.
I don't think you can. Eve and Evie's the closest.
Or maybe Evie is something else. She has
Evelyn,
a longer name.
Evangeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evangeline.
My daughter's called Evie.
Oh, that's precious. Does
yeah.
she have fake diabetes?
She she does not have fake diabetes.
Does she have lycanthropy?
Is your daughter a werewolf?
You're not going to Hogwarts, sweetie. You're a werewolf.
I suspect sometimes. So Evie was originally called, not my daughter, was originally called Emily. So then it was Emily and M. And then like shortening it to M was quite nice. And it was really a big adjustment to me when I changed it to Evie, but it was because she was Evie Wilde. Emily Wilde, and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which sounds amazing, was announced just as I'd signed with Little Island for Big Bad Me and started edits on it. And we haven't announced it yet. So I was like, well, I don't really want to compete with that Emily Wilde because she sounds wonderful. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna change the name. And this is when I was going through a list of names. I was like, Emmy, Amelia, Ellie, and nothing seemed to sit right. You guys still there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what my phone did. My daughter came to me and was like, "Well, you could just use my name because you like it, and you like it, and it's a nice name, and I think it works for a werewolf." So she volunteered her name.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that.
If she doesn't dress up as a werewolf every Halloween, I'm going to have a word with her.
She didn't dress up as a werewolf this Halloween, but my youngest did.
Oh, yay.
That's fine. We'll take that.
She did dress up as a vampire player, though.
Perfect. That's fine. That's also fine.
No
but
arguments. Perfect.
I feel like we need to get her a little, glove. A little glove claw. That she can just have it and put it on whenever she needs to.
She does have a glove claw. So she doesn't have a glove claw. She has werewolf fur that went out with my arcs, and I tied a little elastic band around her arm and pulled her sleeve up so it looked like she had a claw.
Oh, I love that.
My Evie had this, which just came off the fence, but looked really convincing.
It's perfect. Yes.
Love it.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's amazing. So wonderful.
That's adorable.
Oh my god. Okay. So I think we've probably kept you long enough. So,
okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us. But where can everyone find you on social media?
So on Twitter, I am at Ashilockie, ASHILOCKIE. And on Instagram and on TikTok, I am Aislinn_O'Loughlin_writes. Same on both platforms. So come find me, come follow me, and I'll look forward to chatting to people.
Yes. Awesome. Hooray. Okay. Okay, well,
thank you very much for writing such an absolutely fantastic book, and literally it is one of our books of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you
top
so
three.
much.
Top three for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for writing this book. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you loved it. That was making me so happy.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So that's it for this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Deadlocked by Charlaine Harris. Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club and monthly challenges on Facebook. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover-themed merchandise. And become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. New things are happening! I get excited every time I say this line in our closing. New things on Patreon! New things on Patreon! New Patreon! Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com, follow us on Instagram at fictionalhangover, find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover, and on Twitter at fictionalhangover, no ER. If you like this episode, check out our others, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for her music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.